coming on to another challenge that we have in FUT. Why patients are moving away from FUT is the most common reason is of course more pain, more swelling, more invasive nature of the procedure. Also the scar that they get on the back of the head, and that is usually visible if they keep the hair very short. But there are techniques to minimize this scarring, and these techniques are: first, proper measurement of the scalp laxity and planning the width of the strip. It should not be too much. So if the width is 2 cm, we'll get more grafts, but we'll give a bad scar. So it has to be planned. Normally what we keep here is a width of 1.25 to 1.5 cm, depending on how lax, how movable the scalp is. In this patient particularly, we use a 1.25 cm strip ear to ear. So here, this is the strip. Another important thing to give a good scar in a FUT procedure is proper closure of the strip wound. So even a 1.25 cm wound, when the strip has taken out, it becomes very broad, it dilates. So one of the main principles of any surgical closure is that the skin should be closed without tension. It should not be pulled too much. So the correct underwinding should be done. Here we have closed it in 2 layers. The inner layer is an absorbable suture which goes inside the skin, and then on top we have used a removable suture to close the skin. I'll not go into, so there are a lot many details. So when we talk to doctors, when we train doctors, there will be a lot more details that I'll tell them about the strip closure. But not for you, not for our audience. We'll not go into those many details. So here, what you need to understand is that these are called continuous sutures, and this is a perfect closure. With this closure, the scar will not open up too much and the skin has been closed without too much tension. So the main trick here to give a beautiful scar is trichophytic closure. Now what is trichophytic closure? Let's say this is the wound. This is the upper margin of the wound, this is the lower margin of the wound. So in trichophytic closure, we shave slightly the lower margin, and when we close, this area comes on top of it. So it closes like this. So the upper margin of the wound, it overlaps the lower margin and the hair grows from the strip scar. This is how it grows. So now this is the strip scar. If you see here again, we are showing it very very clearly, and we are trying to actually find the scar, but it is not that visible because first it has been closed very nicely so that the wound is a very thin line, not a very broad scar. Secondly, this here is the strip scar, right here. The hair is growing from within the strip line, within the scar line, and that is why that linear cut is very very less visible. And for that pattern, even the FUE scar, so again FUE, perfect is not a scarless procedure, but gives you very very micro dots which are hardly visible to the naked eye. So even if you see here, these are the areas from where we have taken out the FUE perfect eye grafts. But again, hardly visible, those punch dots are hardly visible because of the technique, because of the punch size that was used. So despite taking around 6,500 odd grafts, and from the scalp we have taken around 6,000 grafts. So despite taking around 6,000 odd grafts from the scalp in a single go, the donor area still looks beautiful, and that is where donor area management comes in. I'll make another video on how we manage the donor area. Of course, we have learned from our mistakes, and now we exactly know how to plan a donor area so that even with extensive extraction, too much visibility is not there, even if you keep the hair very short. So that was all folks about this patient of grade 6 male pattern hair loss, a previous patch user, given a transplant using a combination of FUT and perfect eye technique, and 7th month results were very very exciting, very very pleasing. So it led to a very happy patient and a very happy surgical team. I hope you like this video, and I hope that I have made things more clear about how we can maximize the donor area using a combination of FUT and the perfect eye or FUE procedure. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and we will try to answer each and every one of you. Thank you so much.